Well, good morning, everyone. I'm stepping in here between the videos that you are seeing just to give you an update on my ER trip. So I made a trip to the emergency room the other day, and a lot of you knew about it because you read my community post, and I wanted to give you an update and let you know that I'm here, I'm at home, and I am well. Well, I'm getting better. So I'm going to tell you first what happened, and then I'm going to tell you some of the observations that I seen, and well, it was quite a trip. I'm going to tell you the timeline, exactly what happened to me, and well, it's just one of those things that, well, can happen. So one evening I was watching Anne of Green Gables, and it was in the evening, so it was kind of like getting dark, and I was eating a lot of nuts. So we have an assortment of different nuts, and I was eating them, and I had a walnut, and I was cracking the walnut, and I was eating it, not really paying attention to what I was doing. And I bit into it, and I realized I had some shell. Now, I immediately spit it out, but I swallowed some of the shell. I know, it's hard to explain, it just happened. And I thought to myself at the time, I thought, oh, did I just swallow a piece of the shell? Now, it had a sharp edge to it, and I knew I swallowed it, but I didn't think anything of it. So the next morning, I got up and ate my bagel, and we were going away with our son and his wife. And I was in the vehicle, we were going to Lowe's, and I was in the vehicle, and about 15 minutes into the vehicle, I started getting a sharp pain on my side. Now, I didn't even think about the nuts. I didn't even think about anything. I thought, well, this is really strange. And so for about an hour, I had this pain on my side. Now, it was like a 7 out of a 10. It was something I could bear about it, and I didn't even tell them about it. I was just like, what is this? So we got out and we walked around, and it felt better. I got home, I took some ibuprofen, and spent the rest of the day just doing everyday things. But it was pulsating, it was throbbing, and it felt weird, and I knew something wasn't quite right, but I didn't have any more pain. Then I ate a sub, because we had got subs, and 5 o'clock that evening I had the worst pain that I ever had. Now, I would say it was a little bit like gallbladder pain, but I don't have a gallbladder anymore. It was liver pain, it was the upper colon pain, it was pain that was just so bad. And I said to my husband, I said, I have this pain so bad, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Nothing helped. I walked around, I put heating pads on, it just was so bad. So he was thinking right away that appendix or something like that, even though it was higher than the appendix. You know, when you have pain, it can radiate all through your body. You know, it's hard to pinpoint it, but it was right up in here. And so we went to the ER. Let me tell you, that experience alone was something that is worth doing a video on. So we waited hours to even be seen by triage. We waited 4 hours and still was not seen by triage. It was unbelievable. There were people in there 8 hours before being seen by triage. It was third world country type dealing. We were sitting there for hours, but I'll talk about that in a minute. This part of the video is just to share with you what happened. So I explained to them what I ate, and they said most likely I passed it. So what happened was, the first time I had the pain, it was probably it working its way through. And then when it got to the liver, or, you know, the organs, somehow it passed through, and I passed it. You know, it went through, but as it was going through, it was scraping and scratching. And so I have an inflamed liver, my colon is inflamed, I have an inflamed, just my whole digestive system is inflamed. It's rare, but it can happen. And so that is the likelihood of it all. Somewhat like a kidney stone, you know, that would affect your kidneys, but this was just something that passed. And I don't have any more pain now, but I have swelling, you know, my colon, my digestive system is swelled up. My liver is swollen, even though it is getting better each day. The throbbing was unbelievable and the pain was so unbelievable. So it was somewhat like a gallstone, someone like, you can have liver stones. So it's all of those kind of things, but most likely it was from the shell of the nut, most likely. So that is what happened to me. I know, it's so strange, but the experience of being in the ER was something that I will never forget. Now, I've been to the ER many times, but what I am seeing now is a very broken system. When we got to the ER, like, it just was, the waiting room was unbelievable. Unbelievable what I seen. And I'm not telling you where I went, but I did research and looked at other hospitals around where I was at, and the same thing people were saying. It is a system crash. There were people waiting there literally 8 hours just to get to the emergency room. And it was unbelievable. And I think the hardest part for me was seeing the elderly. There were elderly people sitting in their wheelchairs, 8, 9. Some people said they waited 12 hours already just to be seen. I couldn't believe it. There were people that were so sick, and I felt so bad. By the time I got to the ER, the pain had subsided, so obviously the second amount of pain was because I passed it, but I didn't know. So about an hour or two into the ER visit, into waiting to be seen by anybody, it started to pass already, the pain. So I just couldn't believe what I was seeing in the ER. And small children they took right away, which was good. But the elderly were just lingering in pain and just staying there for hours, 10 hours. And it just was absolutely so unbelievable. There just weren't nurses. There just weren't enough of nurses, enough of staff, and it was so sad. And the nurses that were there were just running around like I just don't know how they could do it. So hats off to the nurses there, because they just were so overwhelmed with the flood of people. There were people from every walk of life, every country, every language. We had people that were in Hindu, we had people that were English, Spanish, we had people that were speaking other languages. Like, it was just unbelievable, the amount of people. And this is how it is every single day for them. Every single day. I just couldn't believe it. So there you go, everyone, is an update. I am taking it easy, and it will take a little while. When you have that swollen and inflammation like that, it's going to take a little while, and you most likely will see me losing a little weight because I have not been eating. I don't want to eat much. So there you go, everyone. I am smiling. I am on the mend, but you just never know. It was an eye-opener for me, and it helped me realize I need to be more prepped in medical supplies. I need to learn more medical things myself. I need to learn medical things, and because if something doesn't change soon, the whole medical field is going to be so different. I mean, it was just unbelievable what I seen. I just couldn't believe it. I felt so bad for the people in there, especially the elderly. Oh, I felt so bad for them. They were so ill, and just nothing was being done to help them, and they were so helpless. So that's my story, y'all. You just never know what tomorrow will hold, and you just never know. Just like that, man, the pain just came on just like that. And I need to be more proactive in a lot of things in my life. And I seen that I need to try my best to be proactive and learn skills and just be more up with medical skills, so I know right away, okay, this is something I passed and I don't need to go to the emergency room. It's just hard to know what to do. But what happens if we didn't have an emergency room? That was the thinking I kept thinking in there. What happens if we don't have that? What would we do? So there you go, everyone. I'm gonna have the regularly scheduled videos. I have a week of videos up already, so I hope you enjoy them, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye guys.